Situated in southern Cebu is the town of Argao that most people describe to be a place rich in culinary and cultural heritage. Its iconic products carry tales of the town's history, as these are fruits of traditions and livelihood of Argaoanons that have been passed on from generation to generation. Such is the case of the Hinablon or Hablon for short, the art of handloom weaving to produce fabric from local fibers such as pinya, cotton, and abaca. Hablon comes from the Visayan word habol, which means blanket. Argaoanons believe that this industry dates back to the pre-Hispanic era.
Sa wala pa mangabot ang mga Espanyol, gaduda mi nga adtong panahon na naana ang hablon, no? Unya tingali pag-abot sa mga conquistadores, medyo mo taas magid ang market siguro adto, so murag ni na develop, no? Ni flourish. So likely it was during that time that documentations were done. But considering sa mga historical accounts sa mga katigulangan, it seems that hablon, the weaving tradition and livelihood, probably dates back all the way since pre-Spanish time, no? We already grew up seeing hablon in the house. So nanagim mga hablon nya mo ato sa mga kabalayan, dili katingad-an ang balay nga doon na siya hablunan sa iyahang silong, lalong silong man libutan nga hablunan. So the hablon tradition, the hablon industry, the weaving industry can truly be called a heritage, livelihood and tradition of Argao.
Akong lula sa una kuan ko sa lula gamay pa ko kung maghablon mabunalan pamigdaon kay mag-apil-apil. Kaya dili mao di magkadimao ang trabaho. Muna nga nakakaton pud ko hangtod nga nadako ko kay mo apil-apil mo ko sa kuan sa akong lula.
Dalaga pa ko, naghablon ako. Kanang ako ang lula, niya akong mama, nagkuan man pod, naami hablunan kada sa balay.
Unfortunately, the weavers aged along with the industry, and the demand for hand-woven fabric as well as the number of existing habloneras declined through the years, which is why hablon was almost considered a sunset industry.
With the advent of importation of cheaper textiles, the hablon being tedious and the market trend shifting towards importation, RTWs, ready to wear. So ni decline yun ang relevance of hablon to the point that I think there was only just one sitio, not even a barangay, one sitio in Argao that were left weaving, and a handful, I think less than 5, and they're really very on the senior years already.
This caught the interest of a group of graduate school students from Cebu Technological University or CTU.
The project started in 2013. It started as a final requirement for my students, graduate school students in the subject community extension. They wanted to know why the hablon, handloom weaving industry of Argao is dying or dead. Based on the result of the study, we found out that number one, the industry is dying because number one, there is no more market for hand-woven products. Number two, handloom weaving pays very little. Number three, the processes of handloom weaving is very tedious, that the younger generation are no longer interested in the craft.
The researchers then suggested to create a community extension project, which was originally called Hablon sa Argao and was later changed to Hablon sa Cebu to create a wider reach.
The project was born in 2014, so this is already Hablon sa Cebu. At that time, we called it Hablon sa Cebu to revive a dying industry which we would like to pass on to generations to come.
To sustain what has been started and accomplished, the university has declared Hinablon sa Cebu as a viable demonstration project. This status would ensure the continuity of the project through the establishment of a set of organizational structure and institutional financial setup and other support mechanisms from the university to protect it from changes in administrative personnel and the educational political climate. Implementing rules and regulations are currently being crafted to be approved by the Board of Regents.
CTU's first intervention was to help market the existing Hinablon products of the remaining weavers, which were sinamay, a loosely woven stiff material used for textiles and handicrafts, and personalized cotton towels. The school then reached out to both the local government in Argao and the provincial government for support, and in that same year, Hinablon was reintroduced to the public through the pageant Dalagang Argaoanon, wherein Hinablon was used as the main material for the outfits of the candidates.
We thought, what better way of promoting hand-woven fabric than having it worn by beautiful women? So, kay fabric man siya. Now, the Dalagang Argaoanon is not just a show of beautiful faces, no, pageantry lang siya. It was actually a coming together of all the stakeholders of Hinablon in Argao. Not only in Argao, in Cebu, because it was attended by personalities from the capital. Because they acknowledged that handloom weaving is a heritage not only of Argao but also of the Cebu province.
Getting the nod for funding from the provincial capital happened quickly, since there was already a research study from CTU to back the project proposal. Former Vice Governor Agnes Magpale then pooled resources from the Department of Labor and Employment and the Department of Trade and Industry 7 to help make this endeavor happen.
Proposal is here, these are the needs. We need threads, we need, and I committed already the province to shoulder the expenses for the threads. Dolly will do this. Wala na, ay natanan. So, approved in a matter of minutes.
The idea on embarking on patronizing culture heritage inspired na activity like Dalagang Argaoanon, Hinablon as the official costume, no, being promoted. It also promoted the talent of the local designers, and they were very happy. And over time, it got recognition.
In 2016, CTU received a grant from DTI 7 in the form of 20 innovated handloom machines. 10 of these can produce 36-inch fabric, while the other half could create 60-inch fabric.
This is important why we had Dexter Alasas during that time as consultant designer, no? And according to them, what is limiting in the old width of the hand-woven fabric is because it's only 36 and you cannot make a gown out of the 36-inch fabric.
Because of our being Cebu Technological University and our direction at innovations. So the 36-inch looms were given innovations by our technology and industrial engineering students and teachers to come up with that design, the different design, more ergonomic for the Habloneras so that they can work better and they can become more productive doing their craft.
These handloom machines are found at their shared service facility located inside CTU Argao's campus. Along with the innovations in the handloom machines, also came improvements in the weaving designs.
Because together with the shared service facility is a complete set of assistance given to us. Not only this equipment but also training, capacity building, especially in product innovation, product development, marketing, accounting, and tanan ba nga gikinahanglan for us to be able to improve and to market our products to the national level.
What then was feared to be a dying industry came back to life, and the descendants of the original Habloneras chose to continue the beautiful tradition that their ancestors started.
We have now 20 weavers. We started with 3 weavers, 5 weavers, 8 weavers, 11 weavers, 13 weavers, 15 weavers, 17, now 20 weavers. And that means 20 families. We started also with 1 sewer, among estudyante niya, 2nd sewer, 3rd sewer, who now we have 15 sewers, and this means 15 families.
Sikad ato nakasugod ko, hablon diri, wala mi maglisod. Okay na kaya mong panginabuhi, dili na mi magakuan nga, unsay among kaunon ikaugma, kay naa na mi income permi. Kay sa una nga wala pa mi income, lisod jud ko ayo ma'am. Sorry jud kayo kay murag makakuha jud ko sa kaagi ba, di ko kapugong.
Their youngest weaver now is 22-year-old student Hazel Pantinople, who started working to fund the expenses for her online classes.
Kanang sa una, akong mama ug papa naghablon. So observing lang ko, kanang learning while observing ragani. So wala pa ko kasulay og apply diri ra jud ko nakasulay og kanang kuan na gyud ako nagimo trabaho sa hablon. So kad nga nakasulod ko diri maka-provide nako sa akong pag-eskwela.
Aside from fabric, they were also able to create secondary products made of hablon, such as bags, clothes, accessories, and home furnishings that are also on display inside the showroom they built inside the campus. Their products further improved through the help of famous designers who became their industry partners, such as Kenneth Cobonpue and Kay Batikin and Debbie Palau of the Holistic Coalition of the Willing or Holy Cow, a sustainable furniture and housewares company based in Cebu City.
So my first impression was it has so much potential, and it was just an untapped potential, and it was like something that could open doors actually to so many people and could make livelihood for so many as well.
We were throwing out so many different ideas because on the one hand, we wanted to preserve a craft that is truly Cebuano, but also at the same time, we wanted to move it forward. So the question was, what could we work with them that we could bring on a very hyper-modern way and relevant way, but still distinctly Argao, still distinctly Cebuano. And that's why our first line with them, which we are continuing now, is the line of Sabado towels, colorful mercurized cotton towels, and Domingo towels, which is pure tingkal weaving, and in the Kinarnero style, which Argao is known for.
Their products expanded as they created more home furnishing items such as table napkins, table runners, placemats, pillowcases, and even chairs. But this expansion also meant stricter quality control.
For me, it has so much potential. And I said, we have to improve our quality if we want to go higher. And it was not a difficult struggle because of the people around it. They realized right away, yes. And they were so open-minded. And they realized that they really need to scale up.
Debbie is very strict with quality assurance. Kaning QC perti yung grabiha. And we learned from that. Iman kalintihan ko na namo among mga tinahiyan. Grabiha. Naglisod mi pag-adjust kay walang minaanad. But eventually, it has become a way of life, Kuan man siya, mas nindot yung product mo, saka ang yung value, not the price, ang value.
More industry partners did not only result to more products, but also additional skills for the weavers.
Diri na ko nakakat-on sa mga plain nga sa manani, then sunod, paingon ani na dyan sa, padulong na gid mi sa lisod-lisod nga design, among nakat-onan.
Usa ko ka proud nga hablonera kay daghan ko nakamahuan dili kay sasayon ra hasta sa lisod nga ako ang naagian nga hablon. Daghan pong nalipay sa among mga trabaho.
One would determine the level of intricacy of the design of the fabric based on the number of pedals or treadles used by the habloneras. More pedals mean a more challenging pattern, such as this design that Cirilla is working on using 4-foot pedals.
Sunuro na siya. Pag last na sa upat, balik na siya ka sa number 1. Oo, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Kay malatangan nimo nag-usa ma'am. Di naman siya magguba naman iyang design dire. Nadyo tayo memory gid aning kuanon jud kay kuan man, wa jud tay kuan ani basta limot-limutan.
The recent most difficult design the habloneras are creating is a pattern of diamonds that involves the lifting of the heavy handloom bars instead of using the foot pedals.
Kani siya ma'am lisod ni kay alsahon, may man tong sa likod kay ilaha tindakan. Kani ako kay alsahon may mo ni kutas. Ipon ni siya kung mapurma ba gyud siya. Kay may siya mabiyaan, ug di nimo maihap. Di man siya mupurmang diamond.
Hablon, after all, is not for the faint of heart. It requires analysis, physical effort, mental concentration, creativity, and most of all, dedication. Its first step is called warping, wherein the threads are arranged based on the desired width and design.
Kada usap ka strand kay dili gid siya magtapot, no? Sumani nga anhi dinhi balik-balik og higot ini hangtod nga 1,700 ka strand sa hilo mahimo gyud, no? Mausa gyud na siya ka kanang budburan.
Kwintahon jud na siya kay pananglitan og 4 ka strands unya ang sunod na pud nga color na pud siya 10 ka strands, so magdepende na gyud na siya og pila ka inches ang iyahang kinahanglan nga design. Oy nana niya kinahanglan jud nga ang imuhang kuan nga may jud kanang paspas ang imuhang kuan kanang murag paspas ang pangisip ba.
Next step is called likis or beaming, wherein the threads are rolled along the beams of the handloom. This needs teamwork among several habloneras.
Kaning ikaduhang step kinahanglan jud ning daghan nga tawo makuan mo tabang sa kay kuan mo ni pinakarisgo nga trabaho sa amuang pagkuan sa hablon.
Each thread of the warp then passes through the openings of the heddle during the process called heading. The ends of the thread are then connected, which local weavers call dugtong. The step called slaying follows, where each warp end is passed through the dents in the reed using a hook.
So this is the very crucial stage sa pagpanghablon. Kay kung masayop diha, it will show in the weave. Kay makita man nga naay mga lihang, no? Naay mga putol, kung dili kayo maayo pagkasulod per strand of the thread into the reeds.
It takes all these intricate processes to be completed before the hablonera can start weaving, which is another meticulous procedure in itself. This is why Hablon sa Cebu carries the tagline, hand-woven, heart-woven.
Singot jud ma'am og kasing-kasing. Kay wa jud kay gugma ni ma'am, wa jud kay mahimo.
Despite how grueling the Hablon process is, Argao's weavers remained persistent to continue the craft they have learned to love until stopping became a decision that wasn't theirs to make.
During the pandemic, we had to lock down for pila 6 months siguro to. When we came back na slowly, the market for textile, hand-woven textile has changed dramatically because this is not considered man as essential.
Simpre murag kuan naluya pud may mga kuan kay mao na ba niya mo ang panginabuhian.
To help bring back the demand for Hablon products, CTU passed a Board of Regents resolution to require the institution's graduates to wear a sablay made of Hablon every graduation.
Maybe we call it a created market demand, but nevertheless, even if it's created, it provides continuous sustainable livelihood to our weavers and sewers, which is important to us.
Designers Debbie and Kay helped in creating the sablay's design.
We decided that a vestment type would be more versatile, right? You can wear it over your shoulders. You can wear it to the side. On the one side is the Badlit, the Baybayin, and on the other side is Cebu Technological University. The Baybayin stands for, it's the Cebuano and the indigenous way of saying the sell for a higher cost.
I just wanted to represent each because they have the school for agriculture, they have the fisheries, and then of course education, which is very important as well. So I put that all together in terms of colors. You know, green for agriculture, blue for the fisheries. The red stands for just about an endeavor, the passion for perfection. Because that's what they have.
More than academic ranks, more than material gains, we would like to be of service to others, and this is what we would like our graduates to see in the Sablay. The Sablay is a manifestation of what CTU would like to see in its graduates, working for a cause greater than ourselves.
Since education for sustainable development allows every human being to acquire the knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes that empower them to resolve common issues. The integration of transformative education into any community engagement contributes to reorienting societies towards a sustainable future.
CTU hopes that with these policies and structures created, the Hinablon industry will live on even without them.
Our dream really, is for this project to become a genuine social enterprise. Kaya genuine social enterprise ensures that all profits go back to the weavers, to the owners, to the member of the associations. Hopefully, butang talang 3 years, 5 years from now, ang marketing officer weaver na. Ang kanasiyang finance, officer, operations manager na mo, kamong designer, weaver na. Ang na bang member na sa community? Wala na mi. Kay in community extension projects, we have gone through capacity building on community organization and community development. We cannot be here forever.
I realize also that sustainability is very important, and institutionalization is critical to sustainability. I have doubts, I have fears then nga kung wala ni siya ma-adapt sa CTU, wala ni siya ma-institutionalize sa CTU within its community-based extension program, I doubt if it would not die another natural death for the second time around. I feel that I am very grateful for CTU, the system, that it has provisions and it has the people, the right people.
So this has been very kanabang helpful bitaw nga ning kag ako, I have served my purpose as a teacher, but at the same time I have also touched the lives of these women.